I was just getting ready this morning to do my presentation, and I looked in my journal and I noticed that it was day 249 of lockdown number 1, because I like to keep records. And today was day 25 of lockdown number 2, just if anybody's interested. So thank you for asking me to share my story. And when I got to hear the announcement from Boris Johnson on the 23rd of March, I just couldn't believe my ears, because I've lived a lot of years on this planet and I've never seen businesses closed beyond bank holidays. So I was very, very concerned if the government was going to stop people from going to work and making a living. But at the time, I didn't appreciate what the government had in mind with regards to the furlough schemes, job retention schemes, and lots of things they've done, grants for businesses to help people get through this really difficult, challenging time. So with my business, I'm a financial advisor. A few years ago, we did a disaster recovery shortly after we had the snow one Christmas, and we'd already planned with somebody else to have a real life situation, a real life pretend situation, where I called up the staff and said there'd been a flood at the office and we needed to reconvene somewhere else and do our best to keep the business going. And at the time, the staff didn't really appreciate having to do this again, because they felt they already did it when we had the snow. But it gave us a lot of confidence to know how we could keep going, in a disaster time, which obviously we've just, had that with the lockdown number 1. So we all managed to work remotely, except one girl who was a family of 5, and she came in and worked alone in the office. And we managed, thankfully, to keep our business going all through the lockdown. But, felt very sorry for businesses in hospitality, restaurants, holidays, aviation. Those businesses have been totally, reshaped. Thankfully, with the technology, like we're all here today enjoying the Zoom service, which is better than no service at all, we were able to keep the business going by speaking to people on the telephone or using the Zoom so we could see them to give them their regular review meetings. The only thing that we weren't able to do was to meet new people, because obviously it was a bit challenging to meet new people. I did manage to get 2 weeks holiday in the lockdown, which was quite fun. And one of the most memorable days was cycling across Rober Down on a Saturday, and I didn't meet one car until I got to the Rock. And I did feel like I was a person in some sort of movie, because it was just so weird. And thinking about that yesterday, I cycled back from Yelverton, and it was very, very busy with traffic. So that was certainly a lockdown memory. And I felt like I wanted to share what lots of other people said. The birds did seem to be singing very loud all through lockdown number 1. And the sunsets were absolutely amazing. And I don't know if it was just because it was lockdown, but they just seemed to be day after day amazing sunsets. And we were blessed with quite a lot of good weather, weren't we, in the lockdown number 1? So some of the good things I think has come out of the lockdown is the reduction on the carbon footprint with the less airplanes going, and certainly, in that 3-month period, less cars on the road. So hopefully, that has helped do some good to the planet. So just to finish off, to say I sympathise with anybody who's had a lockdown birthday, because my birthday was the 26th of March, so I enjoyed birthday at home. But my husband's birthday was the 5th of November, and we enjoyed a birthday in Gibraltar. So so interesting for different people. So yeah, so we're still alive and kicking, and thank God for everything. And remember, I was just going to say this. One of the ladies in the prayers said, that Mr. Trump's not in charge. And I thought, yeah, we have to remind ourselves sometimes, don't we? It's not Mr. Trump, Mr. Boris. It's God's in charge. So that's our hope.